Hello and welcome to a little bit of afternoon map making with me, BonBonB. I'm BonBonB, you're very, very welcome. And I've just been having a look at my Google Analytics and been watching my subscriber counts crash over the last month while I've been doing all these live streams. It's great, I should be growing, but no, people are leaving in their droves. Well, what can you say about people, huh? Anyway, just one of those things, isn't it? So we are back to the map editor. We are working our way towards getting... Move that into position there. Lovely. Moving our way towards getting this map ready for the workshop. It's going into the tree painting stages now. Now, you may have noticed there's a little bit of extra tree seam work being done since the last. I've put some trees in the valley over here. Because when you were last here, assuming you were last here, now currently talking to myself, hey, one person watching the stream and they've gone already. People are great. I love them. I think we got up to about here, and I have now completed the journey around the outside of the map in terms of getting trees into the low areas. But we're going to go around the entirety of the map again with a higher density tree brush to add a little bit of variety into the tree densities in the foothills. That is the plan. So for that I am going to need the a higher density increasement of that. Strength is still about right. I think we'll be okay with these settings. What's the brush sizes are very small. I must have been doing some finagling at some point there. Right, bring it down a little bit. That's probably about right. And we'll run some there we go. Just a little bit of density differences, otherwise it just looks a bit dull, a little bit dull like me. So right, yeah, hope, and if you're watching this on catch up at some point, hope you had a good day today. I had an interesting one. Wasn't the best. A friend of mine, they're about 36 years old, thereabouts now. A beautiful young lady. I call her young, 36. It's young, isn't it? Certainly too young to be passing, isn't it? Unfortunately, that's exactly what happened. And I don't know, with the anniversary of my mother's passing coming up on Saturday, it just hit home, really. It just hit home. So I'm going to miss you. Kirsty, if you're watching this in the afterlife, I'm going to miss you, girl. You were an absolute bubble of happiness and just a beautiful woman. Beautiful young woman you were. And I'm going to miss you. I'll keep an eye open for your son for you. He can always come to me if he needs me. But yeah, just 36. Goodness me. I mean, admittedly, she had her demons. Just the ones that can end you in an early grave. But yes, it was like, oh great, lovely. This is exactly the sort of news I needed to cheer my life up with. My thoughts are with her family. My thoughts are also with me because, she's a good friend. Kirsty, her name. Kirsty. I've known her for about 12 years. We were quite close at one point. I mean, nothing romantic. I mean, we were, touchy-feely, cuddly sort of thing. But yeah, she was well, I mean, she was way too pretty for me to catch. There was no romance ever on the cards. But yeah, I was always there for her. We got on really, really well. But yeah, she attracted the bad boys because, you know, good-looking girls tend to. And how are we going to do this down here? I'm just going to throw that across there like that. Probably going to want a few here, maybe. So yes, it's yeah, it kind of hit home today, especially with it, like I say, with it being so close to the anniversary of my mother's passing, which is this weekend. Where I've been a little bit, I don't know, emotional's kind of an overstatement. I'm not really emotional. Yeah, I'm not going to try and be all macho and go, oh, I'm not going to get emotional about these things. I mean, yes, I'm getting emotional about it because it's, yeah, it's my mother. But I am a little bit more emotional. There you go. I'm going to say emotionally fragile than what's going on out there with that alarm. Than I would normally be, and I would say when I mean it was a son who came in. He's only 14. He's been in foster care for a couple of years because she had some demons. Poor thing. There was no danger to him, but she was also not in the right state with a couple of addictions to be able to look after her son. So yeah, so he's been looked after for a couple of years now. And so yeah, he came in. He seemed to be handling it way better than I certainly would have done at his age, I think. But even so, I don't think it's easy for him at all. But he knows what she was like. He knows, you know, clearly that she was in and out of rehab and that she had problems. He's got a fairly sound head on him. So respect to him, but yeah, she was an absolutely I mean, when I say beautiful, I'm not saying, you know, oh, she was beautiful, but she was just an okay looking woman. She was actually a beautiful woman. But I don't know. What do you do? What do you do? What can you do? Hi, Gerard. Yeah. So anyway, we're my head's a little bit mushy today with it all. Mushy's again, good word, that one. Little bit sentimentality, you know. I'm feeling sorry for myself because she was my friend and I'm not going to get to see her again, and there's a funeral coming up, and I don't even know I'm going to be able to get to the funeral. She's local, but she's not really that local. She's not super local. I'll probably have to close up for an entire day. And her family, I don't really know them. I only met them once. And I'm not going to say they're not my type of people. I don't think I'm their type of people, right? So I don't really I don't think I could really bring anything to them other than to say, you know, there were people about who cared for her and I'm one of them. Yeah, bit of an ouchie there, I think. But yeah, it was, I mean, I'm not saying it was unexpected. Given, like I say, given her addictions, it wasn't entirely. No, when I found out, I wasn't in shock going, how can this happen? There was none of that going on. It was like, well, I mean, what can you expect, really? Definitely her own worst enemy in that front. I tried to be there for her, but there's only a certain amount of carrying that you can do, isn't there, really? So anyway, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, oh, the map making is quite therapeutic. I mean, even on its own, if I wasn't streaming this, it's still therapeutic because you just can lose yourself in it, can't you? That's the thing. You can just let it just take you away. It's like with anything, like doing a jigsaw or reading a book, or it's just one of those things that your mind can be completely lost in it. Painting's another one that I think we'll have a look at the plateau here, because we did do some along these edges here. I'm just gonna basically, all I'm doing is increasing the density in certain areas, just so that it's not, see this, it's all very samey here. So by putting just some increased density in there, it just makes it, just carries it a bit more. But yeah, I did a little bit of tree work off camera this morning. It was one of those, I had half an hour. It didn't really feel value for a full stream. So I just basically, but I mean, by the time I started the stream, it would be time to shut it off. I was getting close to going to work. So yeah, I just did half an hour. And that half an hour was basically the last stream that I did. I think I got up to about here with the mountains and the tree painting, and I've carried it all the way across to the end there. And also the what they called the kelp fields down here, I have finished doing them. If they were not done last time you were here, but yeah, they're done. And what I'm going to call vanilla plus, you know, if you've got tree control, they'll be there. If you haven't got tree control, there'll be lots of little grassy tufts under the ocean, you know, in the pools there, that are, yeah, you'll go, why have we got all these grassy tufts? But you may not notice them, because when I say grassy tufts, what I mean is those, right? And just from this distance, they're already despawning. Well, where are we? Just clipping out, and we're really close, and that's not even under the water. So I'm suspecting, coming out of here, in fact, let's pop one of these in the river, right? So here we go, in the river. I'm going to pop one of those somewhere shallow. How about here? So I'm fairly happy, actually, that if they don't have tree control, they don't have tree control, it won't matter. And if they do have tree control, what they will have are the kelp fields, because that's the same ones, just resized massively up. I think that works surprisingly well, actually. Surprisingly well. Okay, so we're done there. How we got there? The Romanians here. Hi. You only use Prop and Tree Anarchy. Prop and Tree Anarchy is, I'm not going to say obsolete. You can use the old mods. This is the thing. In if you're using the, I'm going to say the older mods, the old style mods in combination with the old style mods, you should be okay. But the problem that you can get with something like, if we go talk Prop and Tree Anarchy, if you have Prop and Tree Anarchy and then you're using something that is, say, from 2023, there's a possibility of conflicts. And that is where the issues come. But if Prop and Tree Anarchy is working for you, they're sorry, he was on the Harry, yes, Harry the Romanian, yes. So yes, wrong profile coming along here. So yeah, if you're using Prop and Tree Anakin, it works for you. Continue, but I would look at prop control, tree control, because they are light mods. They're not they're well calibrated, right? Algernon Stern, well, from what I understand, I don't understand these things properly, but from what I understand, they are well calibrated. They are efficient, and I'm going to come back into the hills here. And in fact, I'm going to get rid of that. Go. Oh, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? This. There you go. No, that's what I'm doing. Not that. That! Forest brush. Oh, my life. My whole head went there. So, yeah. So, if it works for you, fine. Carry on. But if you are interested in just going with what is a sound and solid and fairly trustworthy new variant, the Algernon individual, because you have prop control, you have tree control, and you have line tool. If you go with those three, you should be well covered. You should be well covered. None of these whole extended managers library, which is a new way of doing things, and it was too complicated apparently, and it wasn't the most efficient, but it worked, and it gave us what we were asking for, which was more mods and stuff. Oh, I've gone over the top here. Yeah, it gave us more mods and stuff, but not more mods, more trees and stuff. There was a way of doing it, but Algernon has really refined it, and so I would recommend. And on top of that, you've got things like the tree rescaling, which is something that Prop and Tree Anarchy won't give you. I mean, you got it wasn't resize it, but there were ways of resizing the trees at one point, and props. Don't remember which mod exactly allowed you to do it, but having that all built into a simple mod makes sense to me. I would definitely consider it if I was in your shoes. And also read the instructions, which I hadn't done, which is why the information that came from Harry, which is you. Hang on, I'm confused now. It was you that told me, wasn't it? So how come if you've only got Prop and Tree Anarchy, I'm confused. My head's all over the place now. But yeah, if at the end of the day, yeah, the rescaling, it's a nice little option. You don't need it, and if the mods you're using work for you, stick with them. But sometimes it's worth looking at what else is available, and sometimes it's just worth going with. Don't spite yourself by not going with the new mods because you understand what you've got, because you get left behind. That's happened to me many a times. And for a long while I was using Ultimate Eye Candy, and so many people were laughing at me for doing that, but it worked for me for what I was using it for. But like I say, everything evolves. Everything evolves. I think we need to bring some trees down here. I will thin out a few at the top here. As we're going up into the highlands, in fact, probably a few more. Yeah, I'll do. I think. I know. Size down. Yeah, I have way too many. Yeah. Started Cities right now to check what mods you have. You can do that in Steam. Just go into the Steam Workshop and just search for what you've got and break it down by mods, and it'll give you a full list of the mods. It gets messy for me because things like theme mixes are listed under mods, and I have a lot. Well, I had until I cleaned it up the other day. A lot of theme mixes. That was the thing. I'd use them for a map review, and it's the only time I'm ever going to use a theme mix. Then I forget to uninstall it or unsubscribe to it, and then I ended up with like just so many. Staying on top of it is a constant juggling thing, isn't it? Smaller brush, yeah. Throw a few down this way, gone. Right. Now tree counts are starting to become something I'm needing to keep an eye on. Because this morning, my half an hour in the editor this morning, which was not on the stream, I placed about 10,000 trees in half an hour. So it's definitely little things I'm going to have to start keeping an eye on. But this, I think, is important. So I'm doing it. Spend a few trees here. Just to, like I say, keep the densities varied. And you don't feel right there. Go away. Wow, look at that cluster of trees there. That is magnificent, isn't it? Do need, in this cluster though, we have got a couple in there, but let's push the density right up. And then some light density down here. That's better. Ah, it looks so much better. And we'll do a transition down here. Mod your brush. Density, no strength. Strength down. And then we'll just do a couple of spots. Density up. Brush size down. You're gone. Lovely. Oh, hang on. Lovely. I saved 2 trees there. Did you see that? I saved 2 trees. And you can go as well. Bye, tree. Bye-bye. I probably should introduce some of these others though. Over there, they look a bit weird without any mix in there. Grab you. It's not bad. Just this one tree here looks a bit weird all out on its own, so I'm going to get rid of him. Okie dokie. What's your creator name on Steam? I wonder what you made. Lol. Hang on, that's Gerard. Created collections of all your modern assets. I can just reinstall what profile. Yeah, clever. Anyway, nice. 57 active mods. That's solid. It's not the heaviest. That's extension managers with all those game limit expanders. See, that's the thing. You don't need extended managers anymore if you switch to the prop control, tree control. So that's one fewer mod, and they work really well. So it's up to you, of course. It's your game, but I would say don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of it. They're really intuitive, really easy to learn, especially if you read the instructions, which I didn't do. And so density needs to come up a little bit, and then you're good to go. You're golden. You literally won't notice, and then you won't have extended managers either, which in theory could break, they say. How are we doing over here? Right, I'm going to carry on in this bit here because these are a few of the tree seams that I put in this morning. Brush size up a bit, brush strength up a little bit. So let's just change things a little bit in here. Give us, again, change of densities. Density back down. And here, so we need to come out a little bit. Density up. Oh, no, that's slope limit up. Oh, that might mess things about a bit. Just push density right up in there. There we go. And density down. Okie dokie. That is nay too bad. Although those trees up there leave me wondering why they haven't existed down here. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of tree painting in this area. Let's because we have that mix here, that mix there, and over here nothing. Did I miss this area, or do I think there was not going to be any foliage on this area? Not sure, but one of those two probably applies. Oh, I will catch that chat in a second. Anything else we do? We have those cottonwoods, don't we? We have some cottonwoods which we'll throw in the transition. Probably don't need to use too many of them. That is probably okay there. Okay, let's see what's going on. Oh my chat's gone crazy again. I love it. I haven't linked the Collab 81 collection I'm creating there yet, but well, that one isn't finished yet. Rather keep the mod list. Listen, if it works for you, fine. Don't change anything, Harry. Exactly that. But I say, just don't be afraid of it, because these mods are working really well. But yes, if you're doing if you're working with old saves that use the old extended manager library, just stick with it. Bum, bum, bum. Hey, BBB, are you getting ready for Maccabi Haifa's game today against the young boys in the UCL? So, right, okay. Just to show I knows my soccer here, right? Hang on a second. Let me just turn that down. Get a little feedback. So, Maccabi Haifa are Israeli, I believe. Young boys are from Bern in Switzerland. So we're talking about a playoff between an Israeli and a Swiss team. And I'm from the UK. What do you think? What do you think? I didn't even know they were playing. I am aware that they are both they're both like major clubs from their own independent individual nations. But let's have a get. Okay, I'm going to predict Young Boys 2-1 win. Okay, I won't check later. I'm just going to predict that. Anyway, hail. Another Dutchman. You've got to hate those Dutchmen, haven't you? They're very tall. The Dutch are very tall people, and as someone who's not very tall, it's intimidating. That's why I hate the Dutch. I suppose they've got to be tall, because if their dams and dikes give way, they're going to be tall to keep their head above the water. Sorry. Anyway. Soccer. Did you just say soccer? I'm saying soccer because there's bound to be somebody from the United States watching and they're wondering what I'm talking about otherwise. People in the UK understand soccer as soccer, but we also call it football, obviously, don't we? First leg was at 0-0. Yet lag, I don't know. PO is amazing. Use it for everything. I love how I can use it to put custom road names. Oh, it is an amazing mod. It really is, really flexible. It's a bit fiddly, but it's flexible. Custom buildings, highway signs, all of the stuff. But anyway, you'll let me know the results. Thank you. Are you actually following it? And you're in South America and you're interested in an Israeli team against a Swiss team. Okay. I did use it for a bit of street signs, but 186. I don't know exactly what that is in. It's about 6 foot, isn't it? 186. I don't know. Soccer. I'm offended. Yeah, Americans figure out. Okay, association football. Okay, does that make you feel better? Anyway, you're a small Dutchman. I was the smallest in your class. I'm tiny with my 1 point. Hang on. The thing is, while I laugh and joke about the Americans not adopting the metric system, in terms of body weights and measures in the UK, we are still very much the old imperial measures. So, what we got? Convert 1 meter and what do you say? 72 to feet and inches. So that is 5'6". You're about the same height as me, right? Knee high to a Dutchman, I guess. Yeah, we're about the same height. I was 5'8", 5'9" when I was in my 20s, and then like as the spine compacts, which is what it's doing now, I'm starting to shrink. Maccabi Haifa since 4. Oh, bless you. Well, I got my fingers crossed for you. I don't have a horse in the race, right? I'm predicting Young Boys to win just because I think they're a better team. But it's not like Maccabi Haifa don't have a chance. They have more than a chance. There is football, rugby and rugby for pussies. To be fair, only in modern day, right? If you turn back the clock to the 60s and 70s, The rules for football now encourage players to fall over and roll around and scream and cry. It's not that they're pussies. It is that it gets some free kicks because the rules encourage the free kicks. It's sloppy. I mean, I've seen footage from way back before I was born, probably. There was a goal scored where the keeper made the save, caught the ball in both hands. The centre forwards, the big number 9, ran into him, shoulder first, basically crushing him down onto his back. He fell over the line with the ball in his arms, and the goal was given. Because it was a fair challenge for the ball, you see. The centre forwards used to be, now it's ridiculous, but it used to be that a centre forward, you put the ball into the box, the keeper goes up for it, you're allowed to go up for it. Surely you've got to be allowed to go up for it. But now, if you go up for it but you don't get the ball, it's an unfair challenge. Keepers have a lot of extra protection now these days. So I'm just bringing this down now so we can actually have a little more believable area here. So yeah, back then, Nobby Bites Your Leg styles and the leg breaker, I've forgotten what his name was now, but there was David Boost, who had his leg literally snapped. Neil Ruddock famously going out to break, I can't remember which player it was, but there was literally went out, his whole strategy for the game was to go and break this player's leg, and he admits to it, and it's wrong, but that's how it was. But now, of course, everybody prances around like fairies and rolls around 20 times because it catches the, it just says to the referee, hey, listen, I've been thrown to the ground. So it's not that they're soft or they're weak, it's just the rules encourage it. So there we are. But yeah, the rugby is a man's game. It's definitely a man's game. Oh man, that's frightening. But even then, you look at the rules of rugby, they've evolved over the years, and there's a lot of challenges that you used to be able to make in rugby that you can't now. So yeah, everything evolves. I mean, the spear challenge where you just used to go head first into another player, not allowed. I mean, quite right too. It's freaking dangerous. I'm going to hand paint this area. Just feels, again, this area here just needed enlivening a bit. How's that? Almost. Just feels that maybe there should be, the transition doesn't start early enough with some of these. Throwing a couple of pines in there. You in England invented the game. We did. Doubtfully. Well, it's not doubtfully. Well, I mean, there were countries that were kicking a pigskin around before then, I guess. But what we did was we wrote the rules. We came up with the first formalized version of the rules, and so yeah. But Brazil, yeah, you did the beautiful game for a while. You were absolutely magnifique. I'll get rid of that one as well. I think we'll take a couple of these guys down into this rocky area. Yeah, great. Some great magical football. At a time when the Brits were 4-4-2, just, and then the Brazilians were sort of like just passing the ball around for fun. free flowing football. Beautiful. Let's have a quick look at me. There we go. Trees, 74,000. We are fine. We are absolutely fine. Yeah, Maccabi Haifa. Yeah. Not the sort of team you'd expect a Brazilian to be following. Do you have any affiliations with home clubs, Corinthians or whoever? Let's say I'm a Leeds United man in the UK. I don't really have any foreign teams that I get excited about. I mean, maybe, you know, if there's a match, I might for that match. Oh no, there is. Oh, there of course there is one team that I follow overseas, and that would be Louisville City. Because I'm an honorary fan because of this old gamer who is a Louisville resident and big fan of the team, goes to the matches, etc. So yeah, I'm a Louisville City and Racing Louisville the ladies. So that's my foreign allegiance. Other than that, you know, when people say you Barcelona or Real Madrid, I'm neither really. You know, if it's good football, it's good football. That's what I say. What's going on here? That looks like a straight line there, doesn't it? But I don't think it is. I think I need to break it with the softening tool just a little bit. It looks a bit... It does look a bit weird as it is at the moment. Just a little bit, not much. Yeah, that's better. That was an odd shape there. I mean, I know this is a straight line, but this is a quarry. It's meant to be. Alright, oh, this what's going on. So you tried football, loved the idea of kicking a ball. Unfortunately, I misunderstood what ball I had to kick. Kiki's here. Hi, Kiki. Kiki Marie. There you go. Popping in for a quick hello. All my short kings. Okay, Kiki. How tall are you? Go on. If you turn out to be like 8'7", there is one thing, right? Okay. Yeah. Here we. This is telling you a little. All right. Let's come back to this one again. More information about BonBon's, I don't know, emotional status and all that sort of stuff, and the sort of ladies that I am physically attracted to. Because I'm not tall, I tend to be attracted to shorter ladies, because I think shorter ladies prefer it. Well, I mean, ladies prefer it when the man they're stood next to, they can be wearing heels and not tower over them. So, you know, there is that going for it as well. But yeah, taller ladies, I don't say I'm intimidated by them, but I'm intimidated by them. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I don't know why. It's the alpha male in me becomes all sort of like beta male, I guess, if I'm surrounded by, or if I'm with a woman who's towering massively over me. But yeah, 5'4". Oh, you're the perfect height. The perfect height, Kiki. Oh, that's exactly the height a woman should be, right? If you were stood next to me wearing your heels, you could look me in the eye and wonder why you were stood next to me. Oh, yeah, what am I doing here? I was going to the store and suddenly I've been teleported. What's going on? And will you put the computer down? Oh, hell's spells. Right. Anyway, yeah, 5'4". Good height for a woman. But yeah, I mean, all heights are a good height for a woman. Yeah, I am joking, of course. If you know, if you're 6'3" and a woman, great, majestic, absolutely majestic. And some of the most beautiful women in the world are tall because of the old catwalk thing, you know? You know, you think of Naomi Campbell, I'm guessing she's a little bit on the upper reaches side as far as women go. I don't know. No idea how tall she is. But it would surprise me if I towered over her. It really would. It surprises me when I tower over anybody. Anyways. Right. Actually, it's four-way. Messi, Ronaldo both love each other and both love two others. What? Hang on. What? I'm lost here. Hang on. Messi or Ronaldo? Oh, hang on. I'm catching up here. Because I skipped a bit. Let's just jump back and make sure I'm caught up here. England. So I've read that. Tried football, kicked the wrong ball. Blah blah blah. We got that. In up to 2002, we're always the best. Last 15 years, very low quality. Yeah, I would agree. It's not working. Hand-eye coordination. My eye-foot coordination. Like, I see the ball, I swing my leg, and the ball is gone. That tends to be my problem. You miss 58 minutes. 58 minutes of me waffling mostly. Carry on. Let me explain Maccabi Haifa. I'm Israeli, but I lived in Brazil for the last 15 years. My parents are originally from Brazil. Oh, okay, yeah. So Brazilian Israeli. I mean, why not? Used to play my local team when I was young. Also very good, but I was too lazy to get up in the morning. Yeah, that doesn't help. So Israeli and Brazilian, the only team worth something in South America's Corinthians. Yeah, I mean, it's basically the first team I could think of, but there are others, clearly. Messi or Ronaldo? Now, that is an interesting question. First of all, I would always say Messi on the same basis as, if you ask me the greatest tennis player of all time, I would say Federer. Because there is something to be said for somebody's attitude and the way that they put themselves across and the way that they're perceived by other people as a human being. And that was the thing with Federer. He always came across as a human being. Ronaldo, I find him very unlikable, personally. I know he's a bit of eye candy in terms of the ladies, and he'll always be a poster boy. But they have different skills on the pitch. They are both exceptional. But I would choose Messi over Ronaldo every day, just because he's a better human being, I think. Oh, they're a couple. Grandparents fled to Europe before... fled Europe to Brazil. Yes, indeed. Yeah, quite right too. It was a sensible move. But actually, it's four-way. Messi and Ronaldo both love each other and love each two others. Oh my goodness! Can you imagine? Can you imagine? That's one thing with football, though. They love each other. So we're going on to the homosexuality kind of aspect again. There's still a very, very small number of openly gay football players. We know, just because of the numbers, the law of averages. It's probably more than 1 in 10 men. Well, always when I was at school, they said it was 1 in 10 men. It's probably even higher than that now, because people that weren't saying that they were are now being open, and they've got nothing to hide. But in footballing circles, how many active footballers are openly gay? And I think around the world, you can count, at the top level, you can count them on like one hand. And I honestly can't name one. But in terms of retired footballers, there are a few that have come out and said, no, I am gay. But yeah, I mean, I guess it's to stop homophobic taunts, because that's just anything that makes you a target for the opposition is something you should try and avoid, I guess. as a professional sportsman. But yeah. Oh, yeah. Click, 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 click. So, anyways, there we go. Yeah, but how? Yeah, it's a shame it can't be more open. Wow, what's happened with what's happened with the chat? Who's gone? Random saying goodbye. Oh, Random's going. Hello, Random. Goodbye, Random. Did the stream fall? Looks like it's good to me. Maybe I'm just not moving the camera around enough. People think that everything's dead. I shall move the camera around a bit more. Neymar. Well, yeah. Not much time for Neymar, I'm afraid. There's another one of those. Yeah, he dives around because he can get... Well, first of all, he is kicked more than the average player because he is highly skilled. The more highly skilled the player, the more likely they are to be kicked. The more likely they are to be kicked, the more likely they are to, throw themselves around to get more protection from the referee. So he is a victim of his own skill levels, but also, oh come on, just grow a pair, all right? You're good enough to skip past that player. You don't need to whimper around and wait for the referee to give you a free kick. Just get up, beat him next time. The referee's seeing you being kicked. Get your captain to go and talk to the referee and say, look, can my player have some protection, please? That's the way to get the referee to help you, is to get the captain to go and just talk with him very briefly and say, look, just look at what's happening. My player's going to, end up in hospital. So, yeah. Teddy Radko's in the house. Hi, Teddy. Good to have you here. I'm on tree painting mode. I'm doing a little bit. There is tree brush work going, but also there's a little bit of hand work going on as well, here and there. Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar, all of them are now done. They're in a league where there's no competition. Yeah, didn't Neymar go to Saudi? Yes, he went to Saudi. And of course, Messi is tail end of his career, so it's why not go to the American League? Why not? You can't fault him. There's money to be made there. Shirt sales to be made there. And while it's not really a highly competitive league, helps to develop that league, and in theory will bring up the standard of soccer, association football in that league. I think it is a bit of a risk, but that said, if you have a look at, my team, Leeds United, one of our players, in fact, we've got two of our former players are now in, I think, the Saudi and the Qatari leagues. So it's not just the super big names that are going, but there's a lot of really good seasoned professionals that are heading out to these countries now. It's going to bring the standards up, if not only because you then have seasoned professionals playing alongside the local Qatari or Saudi players. Those players will learn from playing regularly with the better players. So they've got the money to invest. Why not? But yeah, in terms of, Neymar, he's got plenty of life in those legs. It surprised me a little bit. But then you also say, well, where else could he go? What other clubs beyond Paris, Real, Barca, Man City, maybe, possibly, like a Newcastle? But yeah, there are very limited places that you can actually go when you reach the echelon, which is what he's done. There are very few places you can actually move to. Zlatan, oh my word, that guy. Remember that goal he scored against England, where Hearts came and cleared the ball? And it was a good clear. It wasn't the best clear, but it was a good clear. And Zlatan just basically put it back into the open net. That guy is genius. And he's got a good touch for a big man. Used to say that about Peter Crouch a lot. But yeah, for a tall man, he's got a very, very good touch. Great player. Very, very good player. Haaland as well. Look at Haaland. That guy's a beast. An absolute beast. I would imagine we'll be seeing Norway qualifying for some World Cups soon. He's Norwegian, isn't he? Not Swedish. I'm sure he's Norwegian. Yeah. If Norway don't qualify for a couple of World Cups in the coming years, I don't know what they need, because they've got a guy who can score, I mean, basically from against anyone from anywhere. It's a phenomenon, that guy. Scarily good. Hot take. Football died a long time ago when the Arabs started messing around. For me, football died when Sir Alex retired. Newcastle could... Yeah, do you know what? It wouldn't surprise me to see something like that, given that they tried to form the European Super League and it fell flat. Having a World League of a few clubs, you have to have the right ones. It could work. As a commercial enterprise, it could work. I'm not a fan. I'm not encouraging it. I don't want it. Sport shouldn't just be about commercialism. And this is, I think, where the Americans don't really get soccer. It's done on the same franchise basis as a lot of their other sports. So you have, where are we? Well, yeah, you have the is it UCL? No, the MLS, and there's no promotion relegation. You finish bottom of the league, you are safe. Whereas in Europe, if you finish bottom of your league, unless you're in the league where they're like the Faroe Islands League or something like that, when it's one division, there's nowhere to go, right? You get relegated. You finish bottom. You're getting relegated. You're out of here. We don't want you in our league anymore. You can come back when you're better, right? So yeah, I don't think the Americans have quite got the hang of that. Although, to be fair, like the drafting system that they have, it's kind of a good thing. I think the way that the drafting system works. So it's a different sort of sporting philosophy than we have here in Europe. And yeah, if it works for them, great. But they're not getting the true spirit. Spirit? They're not getting the true spirit of the game and what it means. What it actually means to be, a true soccer First Nation. Albert wants to know your location. And let's have a draft. Like, I don't know exactly how it works, but I think so. I think there is a draft system for oh, hang on, wrong button there. It's tough. I've wrong buttoned it. It's just tough. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is a draft system for the top college players coming through. And then you're still responsible for bringing, the big names and club signings, that kind of stuff. But yeah, for the youth, yes, draft systems. Whereas in the UK, we've got like the academies, where you they're trying to find ways of protecting. So you invest a lot of money into like getting players up to a certain level in the academies, and then when they hit 18, they're free to go anywhere. They're trying to find a way to make it so that players that have spent some time at an academy, it's easier for the club to hold on to them. Otherwise, what's the point of investing? Anyways. Now this area here, I did these tree seams this morning before heading off to work. I had half an hour. So this is new stuff since last time. European football finances are out of control, especially with Premier League and Saudi money. Yeah. All sport is broken. Well, not all sports, but yeah. Americans do finance better through regulated salary caps and stuff. Okay, Red. I mean, I'll say I don't know American systems that well. My team's just been bought out by the Americans, so let's hope they're good. The thing is, they've just bought the club, and we're hoping for a big cash investment. That's not necessarily the best way to run a business. Invest loads of money into it. You should invest cleverly, not just come along and spend. Oh, no, the Saudis, we just got money to throw at this, right? So you've got, if you're owned by a Saudi owner, they might just throw money into it. But, the 49ers coming along, are they really just going to throw money into our club? I wouldn't. I would, look for the long term. You want your money invested to come back, not just to throw loads of money into it and with any luck you'll get some back. So yes, it should be a slow, like all of these things, it should be a slow progressive thing. And we'll bring some of these into here as well, and some of these into here as well, and that's not too bad there, is it? Nice to be able to talk about football, you guys. But all sport is broken. Yeah, not all sport. I mean, some of the bigger, the more commercial ones. Yeah, it's disappointing. You have to get onto TV. If you're not on TV, you're not a sport. People go, what sport do you play? And you say kabaddi, and you go, well, I don't play kabaddi, but yeah. Do you know what kabaddi is? If you don't, that's because it's never made it onto TV in your country. Kabaddi is an amazing sport, for the record, by the way. But, if you've never heard of it, you've never seen it, you should look into it. Best way I can describe kabaddi is Asian tag, right? Central Asian, India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, that kind of area. Asian tag, and it's freaking brilliant. Mind you, I see now they've got the competitive tag, haven't they, with indoor arenas, and you've got 30 seconds to like jump over tables and through scaffolding to try and catch the guy that you're chasing. I mean, it's great. I don't really get the rock climbing. These people that, the Olympic rock climbing. Yeah, great, but what? I'm sorry, what? What am I watching here? I bet it's amazing, but I just don't get it. Because it hasn't got a ball involved. If they put a ball in it, that would be a true sport. Quidditch as well. That should be in the Olympics. I think we'll have to transition some of these lowland trees up into these areas as well. I think we're getting close to these highland areas being just done enough, I reckon. If plays in the UK, you're definitely older than me. I got to watch the game around 89 when that was nearly eradicated. I always said we would make Prem and set that as a realistic. Yeah, bless you. Zigzag Toes. That is. Hello, Zigzag. Hello. I said that in '98 we nearly left the pro leagues, of course. What team? You say we? Anyways. Oh, hang on. Did I miss something? Zigzag says, football dies when your expectations are met or even exceeded. Then you just become a follower and go once in a blue moon. I guess. It's I guess I'm more of a follower of my team because it's too far up the country really for me to realistically attend. So yeah, I am more of a follower than a supporter. I will buy the occasional club shirts and so on, and indirectly like go to events where there might be a live feed of the match. And of course, the live feed of the match is being paid for by the event, and the money from that, part of that goes to the club. So indirectly, but actually going to live games is pretty difficult for me. Oh, we've got some trees here as well, haven't we? Right, how are we doing here? Gave a nod to these areas this morning. This was about the last thing I did. I went, oh, I better go and get my trousers on. I've got to go to work. Oh man, little did I know what was going to happen today. Obviously I had to have trousers on, but yeah, getting told that a friend had passed at such a young age was like big kicker. Right, so that's looking a bit better there. Coming over here, this is okay. We'll just increase a bit of density right up the side of the mountain. In there, and maybe a little bit in here. I think I'll leave that area because this is this needs some work. I did do a little bit of light tree work here, but I'm going to have to... this is just step one of this area. I did want this to be overgrown, this part of the castle. And then these areas over here, I think, are mostly done. Yeah, mostly done there, I think. Right, so let's have a proper look at the chat. On to the bottom. Yo, Hull City! Or Hull Tigers, as they wanted to call it at one point. Glad that didn't go through. It was a little bit American. Yeah. Hull City. I used to use Hull City's kit back in the day when I played table soccer as my changed kit. I had Legion United. No, I didn't have Legion United. I was using the Sampdoria shirts, blue shirts, white shorts as my home kit, and the black and gold stripes as my away kit for a while. It was only for a while, and then I got some custom teams painted by a pro, and then I looked like a pro, but I was still playing at the same intermediate standard that I ever did. Right, this is coming together. Is there anywhere else I really need to... We got the transitions in there, we got density. I think these trees, the ones that I'm playing with at the moment here, I think we're about done. This, I think we've missed this valley. This valley looks a bit lost and a bit one-dimensional. What map theme? It's a theme mix that I haven't shared on the workshop yet. I will share it when the map is uploaded. Based on Inda, I-N-D-A, Inda. The Inda theme is the water, the ground here, the cliff, and one of the resources. I don't recall exactly which one of the resources remained. There's the resources we got here. This is the oil in this theme mix. This is the fertile, and this is the ore. I think the ore is from Inda, and then the fertile and the oil were a bit in your face compared to the rest of the theme. So I switched these two out, and we've also switched out the sand colour as well. That was very white. It wasn't that it was white that I switched it out, but the transition between the sand texture and the ground texture wasn't as nice, and the alpha channel on this transition wasn't as pleasing as this. The only problem that I have with the sand theme on this one is you can see here the repeated pattern there, which I've tried to disguise with here we've got like the rocks that's placed on one, that's placed on one, that's placed on one, this is placed on one. So basically just to try and hide the sort of repeated pattern going on, I placed occasional rocks actually on these little horseshoe kind of nibbles. Come down to the beach here. You can see we have a straight line going on there, and even can see it under the ocean. Not much I can do about them under the ocean. I mean I could do some foliage work in places. I may do some foliage work in places, but I think along the beach here we'll do some like little grass island with some palm trees in places, maybe some Cities style logs being washed up, just to try and hide the pattern that's going on the beach. But this other than the repeating pattern there, I like the way that the sand texture works and balances. But yeah, so the Inda theme is the one. Where are we? Sabutio is a game. Yeah, that's my old sport. I still play it. I was actually playing at my local club on Thursday night for the first time in a year. I'm still technically chairman of the club, although I don't actually go regularly because I've just been too tight. Life has been a pain in the backside the last couple of years. I mean, really bad for me, and it's all I can do to maintain who I am and what I do, and I can't stretch myself to running being chairman of the club anymore properly. Not played that in years. Used to annoy me that Hull kit was officially listed as the Wolves kit. Was it? They didn't have the stripes when I got them. Brought at the wrong season. Oh, right. Yeah, because they used to update the. So it depends on what year it was, I guess. I probably had the Hull City kit from the early 80s, maybe 82, 83, that kind of era. But yeah, you have spelt it wrong, but it's fine. I'll gladly forgive you that one. Double B single T is the spelling of that one. But yeah, that's my sport. I made my pièce de résistance. I made the Welsh international final one year. So again, there wasn't that much competition, but I did. You still got to get there. You still got to do it. I have refereed at Wembley. I have played at Highbury, not on the pitch. We're talking about in the rooms, right? At the stadium. I played at Villa Park. I played at Elland Road. Wow. That I tell you, that tournament at Elland Road, that tournament was about as well as I've played ever. I'm gonna have to hang on, I've got to sort out a tree brush. But yeah, that's as well as I played ever in a tournament. It was a brilliant tournament. I didn't get very far. I came through the group, second in the group, but it was a tough group. Then there was a barrage, and the best I've ever played in a game at a competitive tournament was in the barrage. I beat the guy 5-1, and I just couldn't do a thing wrong. I could have played blindfolded. It's like if you're playing pool or whatever with a blindfold on and everything goes in. That's how that game went for me. Amazing game. And then I went out in the last 16 to the top seed, and it was only 1-0. So, I mean, like I say, I lost, but it was only 1-0, and this guy was like 4 divisions above me in real terms. Great game, great sport, worth checking out. You can use the slider in Theme Mixer to hide the repetition to some extent. Can you? I mean, I'm reluctant to, because again, when I upload this to the workshop, mind you, when I upload it to the workshop for vanilla, the theme mix, still, even so, let me have a look. Right, so let's come down and have a look at this. Theme Mixer. Which setting is it in Theme Mixer? Not mixes, is it? Color correction won't be it. It's just, there we go. So that's the color correction. Weather won't be it. Atmosphere. Don't think there's anything in those settings. Move to for Santa. Oh. I'm having a moment. Right, hang on, that's not it. This one. Terrain, sand texture. All right, let me move that up. Oh. Let me move the camera this way. Right, so we're at 0088. Oh, this is scaling of the sand texture. Right, so I've gone all the way to the top end. Yeah, or we could go all the way down to the bottom end. And then I mean, that has kind of fixed the beach, but it does require... Let's go and have a look at the quarry again. Do you know what? I like that. I think that kind of works. Of course it's something I could have done. I know that. Yeah, isn't it? Hang on, what do I call this one? The final 1B. There we go. Help if I didn't have caps lock on. There we go. I'll save the theme with the affected, what's it called? The sand texture. Yeah, I think I prefer that. It's a slightly, yeah. We'll call that a win. Who was that? Red. Thanks, Red. Top dude. Yes, if you make them bigger, it's harder to spot repetition, but the quality is slightly, yeah. But you're talking to somebody who's been using Coupe, where the quality is lower. It's slightly more apparent on the underwater, but I mean, it's a small price to pay, right? Small price to pay. Thanks, Random, as well. You should be right under the textures. No, hey, cheers, mate. He says, what happens when you say cheers, mate, on this channel? You get that. And you can also get sound effects now, because I've got my sound effects working. You can have one of those. Right. Anyways, let's go back to the... I was thinking tree mixes. Let's get out of Anarchy first of all. Tree mixes. I'm going to have to work with this. Let's just check the tree count again. So 78,000. So we've still got a lot of give, which is important, really. Shall I, if I finish this, what was this? You said cheers. In that case, I'll say grab a beer. Go grab a beer. Yeah. First of all, this tree here is being naughty. Go away. Right. Let's go. I think that cottonwood. I have my tree pallet still sat down here. I'm going to do this by hand. Which was there. There's your cottonwood. Let's grab you. We'll do this with move it. So I'm just want this to have a sort of like an overgrown feel to it. It's just a little unkempt. It's had its day, and they haven't come and really stayed on top of it. In this particular area. Whereas the rest of the castle they have, the castle grounds they have. I'll use a few of these. Now we'll go and grab the live oak. The okie dokie. Oh man. Yeah, I still need to put a video together this week for the 81 collaboration. I don't think that was going to take me too long, but it will be, because I haven't got any. Well, I could go back into the live stream and grab footage of me making my little village, but the problem with that is there's like something like 7 hours worth of build, and a lot of it is me reading the chat. You guys have ruined it for me again. You do not care. You don't care about me. All right. Right. What have we got down here? The grasses are definitely going to be used. Also, some of these bushes. These are going to live across the map as well. But it does feel like these are... Am I still... Why am I still in... Excuse me, I just swapped you out, I thought. Or did I fail badly? Now I've definitely got it. That's very weird. Very, very weird what happened there. And maybe one in the corner there. Back down to here. I think we'll now just go to the grasses. We'll use a few of these. Just around some of these around the edges where they can be seen. How's that? Hey Diego, good to see you here. We are making progress with this part of the map where I've wanted to tidy it up for a while now. When I say tidy, I mean untidy it. Should we do a few on this side as well? And on there. I think